Did you know that 80% of Americans are unknowingly feeding potential cancer cells every single day? Hey everyone, welcome back to Pure Nutrition, where we transform health science into delicious reality. Today we're diving into something that could literally save your life. I couldn't believe it either until I saw the research. That seemingly innocent white bread sandwich might be silently increasing your cancer risk, while the right grain choices could slash your colorectal cancer risk by 17%. 5 years ago, I watched my father battle colorectal cancer. His oncologist said something that changed my life. Diet is the loaded gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. That sent me on a mission to discover which foods fight cancer and which ones fuel it. What I found about whole grains shocked me. Stick with me because I'm about to reveal 3 secrets about whole grains that food companies don't want you to know, how they disrupt cancer cell growth, how they provide steady energy instead of crashes, and the surprising truth about making them taste amazing. If you're new here, hit subscribe because this is part of our Cancer Fighting Foods series that's already helped thousands of our viewers transform their health. There's an invisible war happening inside your body right now, between beneficial bacteria trying to protect you and potentially harmful microbes that create cancer-promoting compounds. Whole grains are the secret weapon in this battle. When fiber from whole grains reaches your colon, something remarkable happens. Your beneficial gut bacteria feast on this fiber, producing compounds called short-chain fatty acids. One in particular, butyrate, acts like a security guard for your colon cells. It repairs damaged cells, tells abnormal cells to self-destruct, and strengthens the gut barrier that keeps toxins from leaking into your bloodstream. I was stunned when I learned that people with high butyrate-producing bacteria have up to 70% lower rates of colorectal cancer. Even more surprising, you can shift your gut bacteria population in as little as 2 weeks by switching to whole grains. This isn't some far-off medical breakthrough. It's accessible to anyone who changes what they eat. The fiber in whole grains isn't just one type. It's a complex mixture that feeds different beneficial bacteria. Oats contain beta-glucans, wheat provides arabinoxylans, and resistant starch is found in cooled barley and rice. This diversity is crucial because different beneficial bacteria require different types of fiber, and a diverse microbiome provides the strongest cancer protection. What amazes me is how these gut benefits extend beyond cancer prevention. Those same beneficial bacteria supported by whole grains also produce neurotransmitters that improve your mood and reduce anxiety. It's all connected in ways we're just beginning to understand. Now that you understand why gut health is so crucial, let's talk about what happens to our grains before they reach our plates. Look at these 2 pieces of rice. They might seem similar, but one has been stripped of its cancer-fighting superpowers. White rice is essentially brown rice that's been mugged, robbed of its most valuable parts. What happens during processing is nothing short of nutritional theft. Those machines aren't just removing the brown outer layer. They're stealing the very compounds that could help protect your cells from cancer. The bran and germ contain powerful antioxidants, fiber, vitamins, and minerals that get completely stripped away. Here's the outrageous part. After stealing all the good stuff, manufacturers have the audacity to call these grains enriched. They remove around 25 beneficial compounds and add back just 5 synthetic ones. It's like someone stealing your fully furnished house and returning only the kitchen table while calling it an enrichment. The consequences go far beyond missing nutrients. Your blood sugar tells the real story. When I eat white rice, my energy skyrockets, then crashes within an hour. The classic blood sugar roller coaster. Watch this animation of what happens. Refined grains spike your glucose levels, triggering insulin surges that create the perfect environment for cancer cells to thrive. When I switched to brown rice, something unexpected happened. Not only did my afternoon energy crashes disappear, but the constant bloating I'd experienced for years vanished within days. My body was trying to tell me something all along. The cancer-fighting potential of whole grains comes down to three extraordinary mechanisms your doctor probably never mentioned. First, they're fiber powerhouses. For every 10 grams of fiber you add daily, about 1 cup of barley, your colorectal cancer risk drops by 7%. But it's not just any fiber. It's a special kind that acts like a shield for your colon cells. As it travels through your digestive tract, it sweeps away potential carcinogens before they can damage your DNA. Think of it as your internal cleaning crew working 24/7. Second, whole grains are inflammation fighters. Cancer thrives in inflamed tissue. Whole grains contain unique compounds that calm this inflammation, creating an environment where cancer cells struggle to develop. That morning bowl of oatmeal is silently working to reduce your body's inflammatory response throughout the entire day. Third, they stabilize blood sugar. Cancer cells love sugar. They consume up to 10 times more glucose than normal cells. When your blood sugar spikes from refined grains, you're essentially serving cancer cells their favorite fuel. Whole grains release sugar slowly, starving potential cancer cells while keeping your energy levels steady. Sarah from our PureNutrition community incorporated whole grains after her mother's breast cancer diagnosis. During her mother's follow-up scans, her oncologist was stunned by how well she was responding to treatment. While we can't attribute this to diet alone, research increasingly shows that nutritional choices like whole grains can enhance conventional cancer treatments. Not all whole grains are created equal when it comes to fighting cancer. These 5 champions deserve a special place in your kitchen. Brown rice is the gateway grain, accessible, versatile, and packed with selenium, a mineral with direct cancer-fighting properties. But here's a kitchen secret. Soaking brown rice for just 30 minutes before cooking changes everything. The texture becomes fluffier, the cooking time drops by 15 minutes, and it develops an almost buttery flavor. Oats contain a special fiber called beta-glucan that's like kryptonite for cancer cells. It specifically targets the cellular processes that cancer cells use to grow, while strengthening your immune surveillance system. The research on oats and cancer prevention is so compelling that some oncology centers now specifically recommend them to patients. Quinoa is the protein powerhouse among grains, with all 9 essential amino acids. But its cancer-fighting ability comes from saponins, bitter compounds that scientists have discovered can prevent cancer cells from dividing. The trick to perfect quinoa isn't just rinsing away the bitterness, it's letting it rest for 5 minutes after cooking, then fluffing it with a fork. This simple step transforms its texture completely. Barley might be the most underrated cancer fighter in your pantry. With the highest fiber content of any grain, it particularly excels at colon health. When researchers tracked people who regularly consumed barley, they found a 17% lower risk of colon polyps, precursors to colorectal cancer. Millet flies under the radar but deserves the spotlight. This tiny grain contains compounds called polyphenols that actually change how genes express themselves, potentially deactivating cancer-promoting genes. It's also mineral-rich, supporting immune function. The game changer with millet is toasting it first. This one step transforms it from bland to nutty and delicious. Here's something the food industry doesn't advertise. Sprouted grains take these benefits even further. Sprouting activates the grain's growth phase, dramatically increasing vitamin content and making minerals more bioavailable. The slightly sweet, fresh flavor makes them worth the minimal effort. Let's address the elephants in the room, the reasons people give up on whole grains before experiencing their benefits. whole grains taste like cardboard. I hear this all the time, and it was my own first impression too. The breakthrough came when I learned that whole grains aren't meant to be solo artists. They're team players. They absorb the flavors they're cooked with. Try cooking brown rice in vegetable broth instead of water, adding a cinnamon stick to oatmeal, or tossing quinoa with lemon zest. These simple additions transform the entire experience. Another revelation was proper cooking methods. I used to boil brown rice like white rice and wondered why it tasted awful. The secret is the pasta method, cooking in plenty of water then draining, which removes any bitterness. Your taste buds also adapt surprisingly quickly. After 3 weeks, many people report actually preferring the nuttier, more complex flavors of whole grains. I don't have time to cook whole grains. The game changer here is batch cooking and freezing. Sunday afternoon, cook a large pot of several grains, then freeze in meal-sized portions. Frozen grains reheat perfectly in just 2 minutes. For truly hectic mornings, overnight soaking cuts cooking time in half. And for emergencies, quick cooking versions like 10-minute farro or quick barley that don't sacrifice the nutritional benefits. Grains make you gain weight. This myth persists because people confuse refined grains with whole ones. The research tells a different story. A landmark Harvard study tracking over 100,000 people found that those eating the most whole grains gained less weight over time than those eating refined grains. The fiber creates natural portion control by keeping you fuller longer. One legitimate concern is phytic acid, which can bind to minerals. But traditional preparation methods like soaking and fermenting neutralize this issue. That's why sourdough bread, which undergoes fermentation, is better tolerated even by people with minor grain sensitivities. These traditional methods weren't developed by accident. Our ancestors understood food preparation at a deep level that modern processing ignores. These 3 15-minute recipes will revolutionize how you think about whole grains. I've tested them on the pickiest eaters with astonishing results. The maple cinnamon quinoa bowl converted my husband, who previously declared all healthy food rabbit food. The secret is toasting the quinoa first in a dry pan until it smells nutty, then cooking it in almond milk instead of water. Top with sliced banana, berries, and a drizzle of maple syrup. The natural sweetness pairs perfectly with quinoa's nuttiness. One viewer told me her 4-year-old asks for this instead of sugary cereal now. The Mediterranean barley salad is my lunch staple. It actually tastes better after sitting in the refrigerator, making it perfect for meal prep. Cook and cool barley, then toss with cucumber, cherry tomatoes, feta, olives, and a simple lemon olive oil dressing. The barley soaks up the Mediterranean flavors while maintaining its satisfying chew. When I brought this to an office potluck, 3 people demanded the recipe before the meal was over. The ginger garlic brown rice transforms leftover rice into something extraordinary. The key is starting with cold rice from the refrigerator and a screaming hot pan. Sauté minced ginger and garlic in sesame oil until fragrant, then add the cold rice, breaking up any clumps. Finish with a splash of soy sauce and sliced green onions. The rice develops crispy edges while absorbing the aromatic flavors. These recipes work because they incorporate whole grains into familiar flavor profiles. They don't ask whole grains to be something they're not. Instead, they highlight their natural qualities while adding complementary ingredients. The transformation happens when whole grains move from being a health food you should eat to simply being delicious food that happens to fight cancer. I challenge you to try the PureNutrition 7-Day Whole Grain Challenge. Just replace one refined grain with a whole grain each day for 1 week and document how you feel. The changes might surprise you. Day 1. Swap your breakfast toast for overnight oats. I've put my beginner-friendly recipe in the description below. Day 2. Trade white rice for brown rice using the soaking method I demonstrated. Day 3. Try quinoa as a bed for your usual stir-fry or curry. Day 4. Experiment with barley in your soup or stew instead of pasta or potatoes. Day 5. Make a batch of the ginger garlic brown rice for dinner. Day 6. Try a whole grain you've never tasted before. Farro, kamut, or millet are great options. Day 7. Celebrate with the Mediterranean barley salad for lunch and reflect on the changes you've noticed. People who've completed this challenge report remarkable changes: more consistent energy throughout the day, better digestion, reduced cravings, and even clearer skin. James, who initially did this challenge just to support his wife, was shocked to find his afternoon energy crashes disappeared completely by day 4. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet or buy special equipment. These are small, sustainable changes that compound over time into powerful health protection. Cancer prevention doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as choosing brown rice instead of white. The evidence is clear. Whole grains are among the most powerful foods for cancer prevention, particularly colorectal cancer. They work through multiple mechanisms: fiber protection, gut microbiome enhancement, and inflammation reduction, creating a formidable defense system. What I find most empowering about this knowledge is how accessible it is. Whole grains are among the most affordable foods on the planet. Brown rice costs pennies per serving. These cancer-fighting foods don't require a special health food store or massive budget. They're available to almost everyone. Remember that perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Even replacing refined grains with whole options 50% of the time can make a significant difference to your health. Start where you are, with what you have, and build from there. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who could benefit. Subscribe to Pure Nutrition and hit that notification bell to join our community of health enthusiasts. Next week, I'll be sharing how to combine whole grains with specific vegetables to create powerful cancer-fighting synergies. Drop a comment letting me know which whole grain you're most excited to try, or share your favorite whole grain recipe to inspire others. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to make this healthy change. Thank you for investing in your health today. Small choices add up to big differences over time. Here's to your health and longevity. I'll see you in the next video.